Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and today I'm foraging in the ancestral fruit forest of Krokong village in Sarawak in Borneo. What's an ancestral fruit forest? Well, basically the people in the village planted it like 100 years ago, and because now basically everybody is kind of related to everybody, they are the ancestors of basically everybody. So basically everybody in the village is entitled to collecting fruit in this forest. My friend Akian insisted on driving me because despite COVID in the last 2 years, tourism has caught up a lot around here. He said that now they charge an entrance fee of 10 ringgit to the forest. Then you have to hire a guide for 40 ringgit, and also you have to, if you want food on the mountaintop, you have to pay 36 more ringgit. 36 ringgit is a lot. Basically you can get a good meal for 6 ringgit in every little restaurant around here. Oh god, this is I can hardly pass under this tree. Good that the big one is higher up. So he said it's not the weekend. Wow, I almost fell into the little stream down there. It's not the weekend, so maybe the checkpoint is not manned right now, but still he wants me to be on the safe side and not get charged by the people. Yeah, it's really crazy. This was already quite a touristy area before that, and in the last 2 years, despite COVID, local tourism has caught up a lot. So people from the village, they can come here for free, but people from the cities and even from the next small town, they are being charged. He also wrote me a handwritten map where to find durian trees which are still in season, because the season is basically over here. But let me try to remember it. Yeah, that's the difference between a fruit forest and a garden, folks, and especially an ancestral fruit forest. People who are harvesting here, they are chopping down some of the growth with their parang, but it's not being taken care of like a garden. Here we have some big artocarpus tree, which was most probably planted. Behind it is some little hut, so there must have been durians nearby, there must be durians nearby which fruited 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. Some 20-meter giant bamboo next to it. Down there I already see the first durians. Here an old cocoa tree. Here some of those caledangs, mentawaks. I have to start remembering all those artocarpus species. Yeah, the fruit forest, if you don't know where everything is, you have to search for it. For now I didn't find any fruit, just a little basic hut, a couple palm leaves, and here the people are sitting sometimes day and night waiting for the durian to drop, because durians are valuable fruits. Look at the size of those rambutan trees. 20-25 meters tall. If you are lucky, the monkeys will throw you down some good fruit. This one still seems to be intact. Already tasting a little bit old. Yeah, I guess 60-70 years ago you could still climb those, but now they are impossible to harvest for normal humans. And around them, even bigger durian trees, the ones with the straight trunk. And down there, a couple other big artocarpuses. I have long abandoned the trail because whenever I see the crown of a durian tree, I stray away from the trail and start walking towards it. He was talking about a fenced-off plot that belongs to his sister, but this is still too close to the village. This is maybe another fenced-off plot. Also, no durians down here. This is the second little river. He put two little rivers on the map. Already getting confused, but it's my own fault for abandoning the trail literally after 20 meters in the jungle. No durian yet. I brought the big tambok because I hope to bring a lot of durians, maybe a dozen or 2 dozen, but that's just my hopes. Also haven't used the parang yet. I think I'm using the parang a lot less than the local people when going through the jungle. More used to using sticks than them, but I can still make my way through the jungle, so it doesn't matter too much. Still too close to the village. I can see houses through the jungle like less than 100 meters away. Here is also some old cocoa plantation which we never saw. Strange, those have maybe been planted like 50, 60 years ago, those little crooked trees. They still survive. All fruits are black. There is one, still have yellow up there, a red one, too far up there. Want to find some of the lower fruits which are yellow or red. They're very tasty. However, see, squirrels got all of them. Well, squirrel, if you hear me, those are your buddies eating all the fruit before I can reach them. A group of tukulangza trees on that slope. There is still one bunch of fruits up there. Nah, too little and too high for me. Here the squirrels or the birds have thrown down a couple for me. Also another interest, here are some nuts. I think this is some edible nut. Could be the nuts we collected 2 days ago. If I find some, I will take them. Also, Akian taught me something very interesting. He said there is no game around here, no animals. Here's some pineapples. Those can survive for a very long time in the shady jungle. And I guess if some of the trees around here are being chopped down, they would even produce new pineapple fruit. He said there is no game around here. When he lived around Miri, he went hunting all the time. Here he is not hunting because there is nothing to hunt. Very interesting. Very big jungle around here. And I saw monkeys a couple years ago, but he said there is no game here, so he is not hunting. Maybe the few monkeys and birds and squirrels of course, are the last things around here. I'm sure my Dixie Rect will say now, oh, squirrels are very good to hunt and to eat. Yes, the people here eat squirrels, but it seems that for him it's not worth the trouble of bringing a gun just for the squirrels. Sweet smell of champedak here. There must be a ripe champedak tree somewhere around here. I'm now on a small hilltop. Can still hear the roosters from the village. Where's the champedak tree? Wouldn't mind a bit of champedak right now. Looks like somebody is having a feast up there. And I'm invited to the crumbs that fell to the ground. This huge rambutan tree. is hanging full of fruits. Just a couple of decades ago they were still climbing those trees, but now it's just too much. Also, I have some hairy caterpillar on my arm. Hairy caterpillars can be dangerous in the jungle more than anywhere else. That's why those people nowadays, well, I'm the only one walking around naked. Actually, when the locals go into the jungle or even into their garden, they are dressed head to toe. Long sleeves, long pants, rubber boots and a hat. Well, part of it, protection against noxious animals like hairy caterpillars, snakes, scorpions, spiders and so on. Some strange little wild palm. No idea what it is. Red palm fruit, always dangerous, high oxalate content. That's what my friend Carlo Morici from the Tenerife Palmetum taught me. Thank you very much for that. Very susceptible to oxalate, so I'll be careful from now on. Some bamboo here. Let's see if I can harvest water from this one. This one looks young enough. Nope, no water in this. Wild salak or red snake fruit. Not all of them are red, some other colors. I see them from time to time on the markets, but I have found the palms a lot in the jungle. They are hard to miss with those spines, but I've rarely seen ripe fruits. What a pity. Actually, around here I have found ripe fruits years ago. Let's hope I find some. Another small jungle plant hanging full of fruits. Right now I'm too lazy to make a video about it. Found some sort of not very used trail. I'm going uphill because I don't recognize those areas down there. I think when we were here 2 years ago he always took us somewhere to the upper part. That's why I'm gonna look for durians and mangoes and other stuff. Wild bananas. The male flowers still flowering, but the fruits are already rotted or eaten. What a pity. I would like some wild bananas. Now, what is this interesting little fruit here? Well, this one already has a worm inside. They're already too far gone, too rotten. I cannot even recognize the color. This one seems to be more fresh. Oh, kind of tough. Sweet. The taste is not too bad. What is this? Looks a bit like matua, but it's not matua. Tasty. Very sweet. Nice flavor. Trace of sourness. Hope it doesn't kill me. Folks, if you know what this is, please write. All the other fruits seem to be rotten. It's lucky to get one good one. Don't even know what tree it comes from. Huge trees around me. Some of them are durians. That's why the vegetation here has been partially cleared in order to enable the durian harvest. But what tree do those come from? Maybe this big buttress tree here. So folks, try to ID this for me, please. Tell me what this is. Durian huts. That looks promising. Should be abandoned by now, since the season is basically over. He said there will be nobody here harvesting durian. He said 2-3 weeks ago the forest was full of people. But maybe I'll find some of the last ones. Let's hope for that. Do you know why the rare wild jungle durians are so rare? Look at this trunk here. About a meter thick, almost without tapering, couple dozen meters. Yeah, this one broke off, but it's still alive, it seems. The one next to it, less straight, but it will still fetch a very good price as timber. So, whenever the fruits of a specific durian don't fetch a good price, unfortunately the timber does, and so the trees are being cut off and sold for big money. Totally forgot the name of this Cauliflorus pacaurea here. Well, basically most pacaureas are Cauliflorus. I found this in many places, many villages, many abandoned village sites and fruit forests in Borneo. The fruits are very interesting, they change color a lot. Those here are not too colorful. Well, here you have basically brown and green with a shade of purple. But usually you should also have white and purple fruits. This is called Assam something. Assam is sour. And this is indeed one of the most sour jungle fruits. The rind is not so sour. Taste of potato in this case. Here you can see that it's a pacaurea. Interesting. This one is not too sour, folks. Maybe they are overripe. This one? The sourness still dominates, but there is a trace of sweetness. And it's good. It's still very sour, but not incredibly sour. Maybe I take a bit of that home with me. Maybe they want to use it. I take some of the unripe green fruits and also some of the most beautiful brown ones, maybe with a less ends. Let's see what my hosts will prepare from it. When carrying a tambok on your back, it's basically a bit of work to take it off all the time because the straps are arranged in such a way that it's quite a bit of fiddling to get them on. So when you have something, basically you have to learn the jungle basketball. You have to throw it overhead and hit the tambok. Oh, no ends, please. See, I kind of missed. No ends, please. And again. Come on, one of those. They are both like hanging half in and half out. Now I think I managed to throw one of them in and one of them out. Okay, once again. When you are throwing such little round balls, like the pacaurea fruit, it's not a big deal. But you know how many times I've been hit on the head and on the back and on the shoulders by spiny durians because I was too lazy to take off the tambok? Yeah, you guess. Yeah, if the durians belong to everybody, you build a hut and stay there at night and collect the durians as soon as they drop. You built a hut near the durian trees, but not under the durian trees. This hut is actually quite close to this one. Yeah. And here, not too many durians, not a big pile of durians. Couple fireplaces. Seems like they're expecting to come back here because this firewood was collected after the last rain. If they expect to come back here, it's possible there are durians around. Also, I don't know, this hut was from the last season. Did they still use it? I think this hut here is a bit nicer. It was maybe used more recently. Oh yeah, it's also quite a sophisticated hut. It's got walls, it's got a place to dry the firewood, it's got a place to store your stuff, it's got a fireplace. Now that's one sophisticated durian hut. Now, just need to find the durian. This is a prime durian spot if they have 2 durian huts and they've cleared the undergrowth, and Akian talked about this place. So nearby there should still be some trees with Durio civetinus and also red Durio graveolens. Although here the people, red and orange for them is sometimes the same. I'm not alone in the jungle. Can hear somebody using their parang around here. No durian around the 3 durian huts I found. I'm on the main trail now, I think. So I should be able to orient myself with Akian's map. More dukulanzat on the ground. Where are the trees? Oh, this here, nope, no chance. 12, 14 meters of straight pole and, oh no, 16 meters of straight pole, no chance to climb there. Let's go and find at least 1 or 2 durians before this other parang person gets them all. Here is some unripe jungle salak. I think no need to collect this yet. Yeah, I think it still needs to grow bigger and change its color. Here you can see why it's called snake fruit. I just met the other guy. Unlike me, he had some durian. He was pretty surprised to find a white person in the forest, but when I said Akian's name, that I'm his friend, he was kind of okay with it. Went ahead now to get the durian. By the way, he already had 5 or 6 good-sized durians in his basket. Well, he knows the places better than me. Let's hope I find at least something to get something to eat around here. One of the reasons I came here today is to collect Mangifera laurina, a rare jungle mango. This could be one of it, but is the tree somewhere around here, or did just somebody collect it and then throw it away later? Hope I find it. It's a nice mango. There is no other with a similar taste. It's very juicy, that's why it's called manga air by the locals, or water mango. Yeah, air means water, or water means, no, air means water in their language, and this mango is very watery, and basically the stuff you squeeze out of it, you wouldn't recognize that it's mango juice, because it tastes like orange juice. But I guess I'm still far from the tree. Well, I think they basically took the fruit and then throw it away when they realized that it's not good. For a moment I thought that I'm stepping on a snake, because this thing appeared like it's moving, but no, it's just some type of ants. What type of ants are those? Looks like they're carrying some, it looks like leafcutter ants carrying their mushrooms, but they don't look like the leafcutter ants I know. They look like termites, maybe termites carrying mushrooms. Yeah, interesting. Folks, please tell me what type of ants or termites those are. Not a lot of wildlife to see around here. You can mostly hear the insects, but still from time to time you see some little jungle critters. The gullies are getting deeper. The slopes are getting almost vertical. But there seems to be some sort of trail up this almost vertical slope, so that's where I go. Where did this come from? Just a single, not a single, 2 single random red fruits on the ground. Look almost like the non-angular versions of Pacaurea angulata. Strange, none of them are down in the gully. Where do they come from? It's not Pacoria angulata. Look at that. The rind is kind of thin but hard. Maybe this is what they call Marquesa hutan. This relative of the passion fruit, but non-edible. At first I thought it could be... What is this? At first sight it looks like a giant fern. Could be some Sucadaceae. At first I thought they come from it, but now I'm pretty sure they're falling from above. Taking them home. I'm too chicken to try them here in the jungle. I thought that I had found a fruit here on the jungle floor, but it's one of those little, what were they called? Lollipolies? Those insects that turned into a shiny ball. Well, here in the jungle, those balls are gigantic. In colder areas, they are smaller than a pea. Here, this is the size of a small walnut. No durians yet, and so many trails. And the little old guy I met, he is ahead of me collecting all the durians. Well, he is from the village, so let him have them. I can see one durian on that tree over there. Can you spot it? Now I can see it on the phone. One durian right at one of the forks. A little bit above the place where the two big branches crisscross. Just one durian. I'm coming from that area. If there is one durian on the tree, there could be some on the ground. Oh, and I'm seeing a second one hidden behind it in the foliage. Yeah, maybe you can spot it. I bet my phone is already wet and dirty. Tell me if you can spot the second durian on this tree. Already two durians on this tree. I don't want to go back into that gully, folks. This was a very... Oh wait, was I in that gully? No, I came from a different part of the same gully. Okay, let's walk down and see. They smelled champerak a little while ago. This is too old, but there must be... This looks like a champerak tree. Oh yeah, here they are. Here they are, the champeraks, folks. Hanging like sausages from the branches. Okay, so... Okay, forget about the champeraks. We're gonna try and find us some durians. Now I'm in the area where I saw this tree with the two fruits on top of it, but which one is it? Oh man, the crowns are really high. In this case, they are over 40 meters above me. Is it this one? Is it that one? Well, anyways, the durians should land somewhere here on those almost vertical slopes. And then roll down a bit till they get stuck in the vegetation. Down there are a lot more durian trees, but I don't see fruits on them. There is a trail here, and luckily it hasn't rained yet. After rain this would be basically impossible for me with those crocs. Lots of people have gone up and down those almost vertical slopes, and fairly recently too. The only reason for this can be durian. Hello, little friend. I had to climb a very tall mountain near Serian with millions of those things. And since I lost one of my shoes, I was even barefoot. And here it looks like I'm gonna lose my shoes again. Almost vertical gully with a little creek at the bottom. I want to go down and then walk up the gully, because I think all the durians from around here, if they fall, some of them will end up down here. I've seen those snails on the local markets. There are several of them here. Maybe there is some little animal that likes to eat them here. Beautiful creek, but no durians yet. Just 1 second after I say no durians, yet I spot my first durian. And of course, it's in a little pool. It's in a little pool. Okay, and it was not good to begin with anyways. But at least it means recently there have been durians, ripe and good durians here. And what is this? What is this little fruit? I think this is another Bidayuh, half rotten already. Yeah, Bidayuh. If I find good ones, I will eat them, but this is too far gone. This little ladder here is inviting me to go up the slope. Will it hold my weight? It's quite easy to walk up the creek right here, but maybe there is a good reason to walk up the slope. Nope, I'm continuing up the creek. Now what is this? Some huge fruit lying in the creek. Looks almost like a champedak, but not quite. One more. Up here, nope. This is no champedak. This is something totally different. Could it be a kepayang? If they are full of a lot of big seeds. Kepayang! Those seeds could still be good enough. Full of white worms, and of course right here there is no water. But kepayang, this is kepayang. This is a good edible nut. And I will take those. I will take the seeds, put them in a plastic bag and hope I don't get too many worms in my backpack. So I collected a bag full of kepayang nuts. This should be enough. They eat a lot of them. They are very tasty. Found a huge snail. This is not the snail that the Japanese introduced here. This is, I think, a native jungle snail. Really big. Here somewhere I chopped the kepayang nut in half. Still think it is kepayang. Pity there are no fresh fruit around. I would eat the fruits, they are not too bad. But the seeds are the thing the locals are after, so hopefully those are kepayang seeds, and hopefully they're at a stage where they are not too rotten yet. Just found the holy grail of Borneo fruit foraging, a kezuzu fruit. But some animal has eaten all the edible adults out of it. No, even this one is too small. I saw 2 or 3 rotten ones here too. There is one right next to my foot. Very few fruit hunters have ever seen this fruit. Maybe some have seen it in that stage and not recognized it. It's very hard. It's very hard to find. You never find it on markets because its shelf time is literally just hours. Usually it starts fermenting on the tree. Even if you pick it still completely fresh 2 hours later, you can throw it away. I even doubt that I will find some edible ones here because the trees are too tall. You also need to find the tree at a place where the branches are low enough. Sometimes you get lucky when the monkeys or the birds throw down some fruits on you. But folks, this is something. If you find this, 99% of fruit hunters in the world are gonna envy you for this. Kezuzu, Praenea limpato, the holy grail of Borneo fruit foraging, folks. Somebody or something has eaten durian and spit out the seed. What are those traces here? Maybe some person. I think there were traces on the little trails above the schoolie. Oh, and here it's even being crossed by a little trail. I came from here. I'm going back from here too. But yeah, fresh durian. Somebody ate fresh durian here today. Oh wait, is this salak maybe good? It's not red yet, but maybe, just maybe. Oh, if it comes off easily, it's a variety or genotype that's not too red. Okay. Skin also comes off easily. Phew. Very thin flesh. Not exactly my type of fruit. Sour. But taking the sponge home, maybe Akian's wife is gonna appreciate it for cooking. Now this is what beautiful durian hut, dwarfed by the giant bamboo behind it. And this is not even the biggest bamboo, this one is much bigger, and the one down by the river even bigger. But even this here is almost 20 meters. Let's explore. They've been using a lot of bamboo for the construction of this hut. And since I want to learn all the ways of constructing huts in the jungle, let's explore that. Well, they had a good durian harvest, but no fresh durians around, so nothing there in the last days. So the basic structure of the hut is from sticks, from branches. But here, the roof, make it of bamboo, because if you chop into a bamboo piece and slightly bend it, you can actually make both sides of the roof with one set of bamboo stems. They are not using rotan anymore, but those cable binders, they are getting modern here, definitely, but still keeping up some of the traditions like building the roof from bamboo. They've also built the floor of bamboo. This is how you make, let me sit down here. This is how you make, well, the floor is just as important as the roof. Walls are not so important in the jungle. Wait, my parang is stuck, okay. But the floor is very important because the ground is muddy and full of nasty critters. But here, look, they made a structure of sticks like, what is it, 25 centimeters apart, less than a foot apart. And then they made the floor out of bamboo, and this is sturdy enough, one layer, even with those big spaces between the different beams, to have a really nice and flat surface where you can sit, eat, sleep, wait during the rain, wait at night. I want Akian to teach me how to make those flat pieces from bamboo. They are incredibly efficient and incredibly comfortable. Beautiful hut, folks, beautiful hut. Look, here they made a little platform out of bamboo. Nailed this one with nails through the bamboo pieces. Here they use some sticks to fixate the bamboo. Beautiful. And here where they don't need so much stability, they put those flat things over bamboo sticks instead of tree branches. I really want to learn those abilities to build a hut in no time to survive in the jungle. This beautiful durian fell smack on this rock here, and now the bees are enjoying it. Interesting, those don't look like spineless bees, they don't look like giant bees either. They look a little bit like European honeybees, so I guess they will have stingers too. What a pity. Well, I wish I would have been the one collecting that durian, but no chance. It's here. It fell in the water. It's spoiled. But at least that means that this tree here had a durian fall today. 5 meters away from the durian in the creek, I started smelling durian. I don't know if it's the durian in the creek or some other durian. Here, by the way, some of the jungle termites. Termite mound. I also smell smoke. Since I sat down in the last hut, I smell smoke. Now I stopped smelling durian. I just smell smoke again. Strange. 3 bunches of salak in one day already. Well, less than one day, less than 2 hours. And this is a really big one. Not ripe yet. This one has like, what, 30, 40 fruits? The one I collected had less than 10. Somebody will get lucky here in a couple days when this stuff is ripe. Those fruits look like acorns. Actually, they are Fagaceae here in this forest, close relatives of the oaks in this equatorial forest. Don't know where this came from, but I guess it's something in the Fagaceae family. I wonder if the locals eat them like people in temperate areas. Do you know anything about eating of Fagaceae fruits? Well, actually seeds in tropical areas in Borneo or so? Please write in the comments. I thought that those are all Borneo rubber vines. It might be true for most of them, but not for this one. No idea what this is. Just know that it has a bunch of big fruits. But what is this, folks? And is it ripe for consumption? Well, there seem to have been old inflorescences here, but I cannot see any of them. And up there, this vine is starting to look a lot like the other ones. So this is probably not Borneo rubber. Don't see any inflorescences or fruits hanging from the other vines. Strange. What can that be, folks? And this should be the same vine. Oh, here's a Melastomataceae. Maybe I should try this one too. Interesting. Well, whatever, folks. I'm taking half of those with me. Now, I have to manage to put them into the tambok on my back. Oh yeah, success. They are inside. Good. And off to the next fruit. Those here could be the leaves. Oops. Well, those here could be the leaves of the so-called Marquisa hutan of the Passifloraceae, but not Passiflora fruits which I found before. They have tendrils. Well, could also be some Cucurbitaceae. No fruits on this one. Cucurbitaceae and Passifloraceae, the stems look very similar to me. And here, folks, we have the most horrible plant in all of the jungle, the rattan. You know this furniture which looks like it's made out of bamboo, which your grandparents often have in their garden or sometimes even in their house. Bamboo bent into impossible directions. It's not bamboo. It's this palm here. Lots of different species in lots of different thicknesses. Very valuable jungle commodity. It's basically the rope of the jungle. But the leaves are incredibly spiny. Not just the leaves. If you look at the upper part of the stem, this here, if you think you can break those things off, think again. Even with the parang, the spines are almost impossible to cut. And if you just go here into the right direction, this stuff will just continue cutting and cutting and cutting and cut you to the bone. No chance to break them off, unlike most other plant spines. Be very careful, folks. Be very careful with rotten leaves and rotten palms in the jungle. They can well kill you if they entrap you and you panic and don't manage to free yourself. Exiting the forest, here is the big fallen tree again. I think it's a durian tree. And look, there are already bananas growing on its fallen, well, not trunk, but roots. So I didn't manage to find what you can actually sit here protected from the rain. I didn't manage to find what I set out to find. Durian and Mangifera laurina. But well, I had a lot of fun. Collected a lot of things. Found a couple new fruits. So now gonna go home to Akian and his wife and see if the stuff that I collected, is actually any good. He brought back some of those nuts which grow here. Let's see what they are. I'm gonna ask him if they are good and edible. This is the stuff I got from my jungle trip today. Akian was not too impressed with the bacaurea and the wild snake fruit. He had no idea at all what this fruit is, so we're not gonna use it. I forgot to ask him about those, but I think that they are this passiflora relative. But he said that the kapayang nuts are probably still good. So yeah, he's happy. They are eating large amounts of those, so at least something useful from today's trip.